Jerry, did you run the one-engine landing checklist?
Done.
Flight 1512, maintain heading 180 degrees.
Vector for downwind.
Make sure they know we're in emergency. I'm turning final for an immediate visual approach to runway 32.
Approach flights 1512 are declaring an emergency. Need immediate vector to a visual final, runway 32 left. Negative 1512. Continue on assigned heading. Vector for downwind.
Cancel IFR under my emergency authority. I'm turning right now. Clear the runway.
Don't make him nuts.
I got a heart attack, one engine out, a hydraulic failure, and a panic flight attendant. Don't make me nuts.
O'Hare Tower, flight 1512, declaring emergency, is landing, runway 32 left.
Gear down, landing checklist. We're gonna stay at flaps 15.
1512, truck on runway, go around.
Truck on the runway.
Want to gear up?
Negative, I'm landing. Tell him.
Kidding.
Do it!
Come on, Scotty. O'Hare Tower, flight 1512 is sidestepping to the taxiway. Say again, 1512? You want to go around for another try at 32?
No, I'm parking on the right.
Get it down now. You don't have time to stop.
Big hydraulic interconnect.
You got brakes.
You worry me, Nash. Really do.
Yeah, well, that's my job.
Flight Engineer Williams, administration. Flight Engineer Williams, administration.
Great save, Jer. We'd have never stopped.
What the hell kind of solution was that, Nash?
What the hell kind of check ride was that?
You disregarded every instruction, fudged every line.
Please, truck on the runway? I'd have been embarrassed. That's the cheapest, oldest trick in the book.
Nash, there were a way to bust you.
Sir, the plane is on the ground. The passengers and crew are safe. The coffee's still hot. What's the grounds for the bust?
I'm working on it.
So we passed?
Passed. Rewrote the manual.
Yahoo.
Mr. Shapiro, this is not about money. It's about power. The world is now technologically based. This weapon will not just cripple, but devastate any civilization it's used against. That's power. Power is for giants. But I don't see any giants in this room.
You're out of line, Dr. Henry.
All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, Chief.
All right.
Have a good night.
Later.
Yep.
You know what? I just want you to look at something for a second. Real quick. Gentlemen, this is it.
You gotta be kidding me. That's a 737. Never met anyone who owns a little 737.
This is a unique 737. Vintage. It's the only one in the world with a 727 flight engineer panel. Just for you, Jer.
That was really yours, huh?
Me and the bank. Well, a few banks. What'd you think? I was blowing smoke about this?
Yeah, it could have been.
No. This is happening. And this is our first government contract.
Get out.
Got it?
Mm-hmm. In 3 weeks, I'm hauling a shipment of research equipment out of Miami for NERA.
What the heck is that?
What the heck is that? National Environmental Research Administration.
Who cares? As long as they pay.
So? Are we doing this? You guys flying with me or what?
TWA doesn't want me.
TWA doesn't want you.
Hey.
Jerry?
Yeah, I guess.
You guess. What do you mean you guess? I don't go up without you.
You got the plane? I'll keep it in the air. Scott Air.
Oh. Scott Air.
Scott Air.
Scott Air!
Doctor, your data is critically flawed.
No, sir. You just don't know how to read it. Can you visualize total chaos? Civilization so crippled they can't feed themselves, defend themselves, or even communicate with the outside world. So isolated, it's as though they dissolved into a black hole. That, Mr. Shapiro, is Medusa.
You know, that was great the way you beat up the brass for our funding.
It's been a long 6 months. Do you think Antarctica will ever be the same?
No, not the penguins.
They're gonna kick us out of here. You know what, you guys? I am really proud of all of us, and we worked very hard, and I am going to miss you. But it is great to be back in the States.
Yes! USA! USA! USA!
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
A world-famous scientist, and she can't figure out how to open a door.
If you silence Medusa, you have made a catastrophic error. Once you give up control of this weapon, it will come back at you. You won't know when or where. It may be something you won't even recognize, but the devastation will be total. There will be no living with it.
Hey, tell me about your days off later. I don't want to hear about them right now. Okay?
I am
Come on.
starving. What
I
are you
know.
doing?
I know. Just take a second. You're going to love it. You are going to love this. We will not be late for the restaurant. I promise you. This might change your entire life. See this? That is a mini video conferencing unit, okay? Check it out. That's it.
Hello.
Here's looking at you, sweetheart.
That's great.
What do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
It's amazing.
You can also program a taped message. Say you call and I'm not home, but I've left you a message. You just punch in a code and the tape plays. Go ahead, hit 5-9. There's something I've been meaning to ask you, which I guess keeps slipping my mind. You remember when we were playing that silly color game, you know, where you try to put colors to people's lives? And I said mine was light blue. And I remember that you said you were still looking for a color. Well, I was wondering if you were still looking, if you'd like to share mine. You like blue, right? Will you marry me?
Dean.
Well,
Yes.
you're sure?
I'm sure.
All the machines are down.
It could be an emergency.
Yeah, it's an emergency. Somebody's cell phone broke. Yeah, Cooper Electronics.
Hello, Dean. Vivian wasn't at home. I thought she might be with you.
At my office.
But there was no answer at her house either. May I speak to her, please?
It's Rogers. With his usual impeccable timing.
What does he want?
Ask him.
tracked me down to ask about my health, Rogers. What do you want?
Did it ever occur to you that I might want to say I'm sorry?
No, it didn't occur to me.
I understand that. There's something I want to show you before it's too late.
What is that supposed to mean, too late?
I'm sick, Vivian. I need to see you.
No, Rogers, absolutely not.
A few minutes. I know I don't deserve anything from you, but I just need to see you one more time. Please. No strings. I'm begging you. It's important.
Rogers, I'll get back to you.
What now?
He's sick. He wants me to come by the house.
No, 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 no.
He sounded different. Defeated. He hasn't bothered me in a long time.
Vivian, that's not goodwill. That's the restraining order we got against him, okay?
He's given up trying to get me back.
No, Rogers Henry doesn't give up. He just redeploys. Don't go. You don't owe him anything.
10 years together.
Vivian, listen to me. He's insane.
No, he's brilliant. Don't confuse the two. And he's lost everything, and he's sick.
Too sick to scare you into another heart attack?
Dean, I was born with a screwed up heart. He didn't cause that, and a pacemaker fixed it. Hey, I'm fine.
You're perfect. It's your judgment I'm worried about.
I think my judgment's great. I said yes to you.
The National Weather Service is calling this incredible mass of wind and rain Hurricane Sigrid. This is a storm of unprecedented power and intensity, which has been steadily building in the central Atlantic as it continues its slow westwardly path. Sigrid is now estimated to be twice as strong as when it devastated the island of Bermuda and will, barring any sudden change in course, hit the U.S. coast.
So I called about a two-bedroom apartment in Maryland.
This storm is unbelievable. This is fabulous.
We don't want to be commuting.
Entire eastern seaboard until Sigrid's path makes itself more clear.
Are you packing? I thought we'd hang out for a few days before we head back up to D.C.
And miss the most magnificent hurricane of the century?
I'll watch it in Florida.
This is going to hit the Carolinas back out and bash D.C. If you think I'm not going to be there for that.
Oh, come on. We got meetings all day tomorrow. Let's hang out for a few days, and then we'll both head back up to D.C.
Bobby, I just told you what I wanted and why, and you walked all over it.
No, I didn't. I just can't believe that you'd pass up 3 days in the sun for, come on, what are you, a storm junkie?
This is not the way to my heart.
Take a later plane.
Bobby, this has been fun, but I never hang on past closing time.
Linda, if you spend your life moving on, you'll never be anywhere.
I'll know when it's time to stand still.
I recognized your hesitant footsteps. I look terrible, don't I?
How ill are you, Rogers?
Very, I suppose. I'm dying, Viv. Pancreatic cancer. I've got about 6 months.
I'm sorry.
Yes, so am I. But you know now why I needed to see you. That was rhetorical. I wanted to see you. I want to apologize for the misery I caused you.
It's over.
But I'm not going to embarrass either of us by becoming maudlin. I just want you to know I recognize it. And I am so deeply sorry.
I appreciate that.
Now, I want to show you something. Don't look so suspicious. I want to show you something that I think will make you very happy. Viv, here it is.
What are you talking about?
This is it.
Pentagon canceled it.
They canceled the project. They didn't cancel me.
They said it was unworkable.
Yes, they did. They say a lot of things, but they do nothing. I did it. This is Medusa.
It's impossible. You couldn't.
No, of course not. Just a mock-up to scale, a dummy. But the plans are perfect. It works. Remember the original design? The solid steel enclosure? How it had to be seamless so it couldn't be breached? Go on, look at it. Go on, go on.
You did this alone?
Day and night since you left. It's my gift to you. The patent will be worth millions.
I'm not interested. Rogers. What are you going to do with it?
You really don't know me, do you?
I used to. You changed.
They changed me. They canceled the most important research of the 20th century. I hated them, Shapiro and his gang at the Pentagon, but I never hated this country. I would never give my research to anyone but our government.
It is beautiful, Rogers. And it's brilliant.
I need you to deliver it to the Pentagon.
No.
Vivian.
No. Absolutely not.
Vivian.
I'm not being drawn back into that world.
That world? Most brilliant mind creating things that never existed?
No. The world of secrets and sealed files and disinformation. No more. Deliver it yourself.
Look at me, Vivian. I'm dying. I'm too sick to travel to Washington. Even if I could get there, what do you think the reaction would be? They'd laugh me out of the Pentagon. I've made all the arrangements. All you have to do is accompany the shipment.
Well, what about the other scientists, Barker, Feldheim? Might they have more credibility?
I don't trust anyone but you. You understand the consequences if they should fall into the wrong hands.
God, Rogers.
Please. It will take one day out of your life. It's everything out of mine.
No, Patty, hear me out.
You know, Scott Air is a nothing little company. I'm gonna turn that off if you play with the remote. I'm just sick and tired of struggling, Jerry, for everything. At the airline, you could have been a pilot. Your starting salary would be double what Scotty can afford to pay you.
Honey, Scott Air is something we've been dreaming about. It's something we could build together. This is a chance for us to have something of our own.
I want you to take that American job.
I can't take the American job. I failed the screening check ride to be a pilot.
You did it on purpose.
No, Patty, nobody fails on purpose.
Yes, you do. If you really wanted that job, you would have aced that check.
No, Patty, they don't want me to fly for them.
This is it, Jerry. If you're gonna put all your faith in Scott, I'm not going down that road with you.
It's the only road I got left. I don't even want Scotty to know I failed the check. If he starts doubting me now...
I'm taking the kids to Mother's. I gotta figure this out.
Don't do this right now, Patty. Please don't do this. Scott Air's the only chance I got left.
I don't want to have this conversation again.
What do you mean have it again? Look, we made a decision. Are you going back into that world? Are you gonna... I know we've been over this and we decided that we were through with him. Just stop packing first.
Dean, I want to do this.
All along the eastern seaboard, people are preparing for the most devastating hurricane.
Has 22 people dead.
Gulf waters rushed over 25 miles inland. Oddly caused.
You don't understand. I have to be on that flight. It's 2 lousy pallets of equipment. That's all I'm asking. Wait, you know what? All right, don't move. Do not move.
You're driving me crazy.
Thank you, Captain.
Are you Captain Nash?
Who's asking?
Your loadmaster is being an ass.
That's no ass. That's my second officer.
Well, he's refusing to take me and my cargo.
I don't see her on the manifest. Do you see her on the manifest?
He's right. You're not on the manifest. No Manny, no takey.
Don't get cute, Captain. The National Environmental Research Administration chartered you. I'm with NARA, and you've got the room.
Why don't we start this over? I'm Scott Nash. This is Jerry Carnell. And you are?
Look, I'm sorry I came on so strong. I just got in from 6 months in Antarctica. I didn't sleep a wink, drank too much. I'm cranky. I've got time-critical instruments that I've got to get to D.C. There's a hurricane that is about to batter the East Coast, and I am not going to miss it. My name, right, is Dr. Linda McCoy, and all I want to do is add myself and 2 pallets of equipment to your narrow load.
Now, you know, and I know, that these are government contracts monitored by rigid bureaucrats.
One mistake, goodbye contracts.
Honey, I'm not making that mistake.
Honey was your first mistake. Your second mistake is not taking my pallets.
Here we go again.
I am a senior staff member at NARA.
Doctor, threatening me is not going to get your cargo on my aircraft. I am not taking you or your stuff without authorization.
You know what? This is not a threat.
What
There's
I
going to be...
will do is call Washington and see what I can work out.
Well, that's very creative of you, Captain.
Thank you.
If you have trouble with D.C., just whistle. I've already spoken to the cargo supervisor. They're not helping.
How could you let that grate out of your sight even for a second? How long ago?
Minutes.
Go back to the supervisor. Threaten him if you have to. Make him understand how critical it is. I'll call the Pentagon.
Hurricane Sigrid is hovering along the coastline and has already washed a storm surge of 30 feet of water along the Carolina coast.
This is going to be real ugly, Scott.
Okay, fax me confirmation. Thanks.
We're making final preparations
rock and roll.
for the most powerful hurricane
I want to
ever
beat this
seen.
storm to D.C.
The heart of Sigrid are running 40 to 60 feet. 2 freighters are in trouble, and the Coast Guard fears they may have sunk. After devastating the island of Bermuda, Sigrid now seems poised in the Atlantic, not moving forward, just building in intensity and ferociousness.
Oh, don't bust my chops. You know what I got here. Yes. You know I can't do that. Fight me, Gino.
Have you located my shipment?
Oh, lady.
I thought I made it clear. That shipment is critical, and I must personally supervise it every step of the way to the Pentagon.
I thought I made it clear. Fill out a pink form, and we'll look into it.
That's unacceptable. Look into it now. Where's my shipment?
One of the pallets from the nearest shipment is still here. Yours must be on that Scott Air flight to D.C.
Get it back.
Lady, right now the government shipment takes precedence.
I want you to listen very carefully. I don't give a damn about the government shipment. Wherever my cargo is, you find it and see to it that I am with it. If not, your company will be out of business by 5 p.m., and that'll be the good news. The bad news is, I will see to it that you personally regret the day you ever mishandled my cargo.
Scanners are so sensitive. If there's even a capsule of nuclear material within the boundaries of the airport, we'll pick it up. If they work here, we'll put them in every international airport in the country.
Excuse me. I've been trying to find you.
Well, we weren't told we'd be online this morning, but apparently we had the recordings going, and it looks like we picked up your test. Come on in, we'll show it to you.
This is what we see if real bomb material were used?
That's exactly what you'd see. This was real bomb material. As I'm sure you know, you brought it in. Look, we're all cleared for top secret crypto here. You only spike a reading like this if it's the real thing. I don't see the point in not telling us about the test.
Commander, the FAA did not arrange a test. If the Navy didn't arrange it, there was weapons-grade nuclear material at this airport.
Give me a break. She's got some kind of critical shipment for the Pentagon. I've been bombarded with calls.
She's got to deliver this thing personally.
There's no way.
We got a problem. The ground crew loaded the wrong pallet. One of Nira's is still on the ground. We got someone else's aboard.
Jerry, how did that happen? Come on, Captain.
You're not that far north of Tallahassee, and I flew over there at my expense.
This Henry woman must be real well connected.
Is there a problem? I hope it doesn't involve my stuff.
No problem. This doesn't involve you.
What happened? Did you load something that wasn't on the manifest?
Captain, give me a break.
What is your name?
Ben.
Let me ask you something, Ben. How did I get caught in the ringer between Nira and the Pentagon?
Get us out of this thing, buddy.
I will personally get your Nira cargo to D.C. 10 lousy minutes.
Pick up the lady. We're going to be working together, and I'll owe you big time.
Oh, you owe me, Ben.
We're going back to Tallahassee. We have to pick up this woman.
We're going back to pick up some dame who's delivering a crate?
She has a critical delivery for the Pentagon.
I don't care if it's a kidney for the president. If we don't get to D.C. before that hurricane hits, I'll bury you.
Doctor, stop right there. Now, if I didn't think I could get back to D.C. before the storm, I wouldn't be doing it. Now, I'm trying to rectify a mistake that I am not responsible for, but since no good deed goes unpunished, I fully expect you to carry out every one of your threats. But while you're in this plane, I run the show. Now, sit down, or I'll seat you myself.
Is he the owner? I mean, he's a little young, isn't he?
He's an ex-Navy carrier pilot. Lieutenant commander. He's flown Tomcats. He's done stuff most...
Okay. Okay. How many planes you guys have?
One. This is it. We're still small. This contract means a lot to us.
What do you got? We've got a vector heading of 280.
Yes, I'm holding for Secretary of Defense Stanley Shapiro.
Give me Assistant Director Tony DiStefano. Yes!
Okay, this is what we got, Mr. Secretary. We got 36 flights left the airport in the last 3 hours. That's 9 different carriers. They've all been contacted individually and requested to return to the airport.
The storm is a monster, a level 5 hurricane, the worst we have ever seen, and the damage toll is expected to be in the billions of dollars. We've already seen hundreds of people in Bermuda made homeless by this disaster, and we can expect the same.
We're told that Congress has adjourned so that Congress may get home to their families before Sigrid hits.
I've called everyone back to the sit room. Get me on this line when you have confirmation. Tell the secretaries to get out of here within the hour. I don't like the looks of this hurricane. Dick, has the White House been briefed on what Miami thinks it detected?
And the president. He's still at the embassy in London. Who's involved?
Not a clue. The NRC is working on what the stuff is. The CIA is targeting who. And we're linking with Tony DiStefano at FBI to figure out where. Bottom line is we have an unidentified nuclear substance and we may be too late. We may have lost the trail.
Aren't they calling all the planes back to Miami?
Oh, sure, that's fine, but some of the planes have already landed. Others had to refuel and could have had the material removed. I don't know. The radioactive package could have been in a car or a truck. It's a mess.
Tell Frank he's just got to do it again, okay? Thanks. Hey.
Hi, it's me.
Call me on the high-tech phone I gave you, huh?
Yes, I'm in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee? What are you doing there?
I hope this isn't an indication of things to come. We've already had a disaster. They loaded my cargo onto the wrong plane, and they've come back to get me.
You got a plane coming back for you? How did you manage that?
I had some words with the cargo supervisor. I think I scared the life out of him. I hope the truck meets me at the National Airport because I have visions of me carrying this thing on my back through the streets of Washington.
Good. Do me a favor. Get this thing done and come home, would you?
All right, I gotta go. I'll call you when I get to Washington. I love you.
Henry?
Yes.
Hi, Captain Scott Nash. I'm sorry about the mix-up. It really wasn't our fault.
I gathered that, but it had to be fixed. I gotta get the shipment to Washington.
Don't worry, we'll get you there.
Don't scream. I just want to put my 2 cents in about this storm. We can't assume that it's going to follow the usual pattern. It's a new breed, one of the effects of global warming.
Doctor, at the front of the plane is a very small room. It holds the captain and his officers. It's called the cockpit. Behind the cockpit and further back in the fuselage is a large room called the cabin.
Okay,
that
Captain,
is where the passengers
let
sit.
me make this
You
simple for
understand?
you. This storm is like a cat waiting to pounce.
Doctor, what is your field?
Atmospheric science. And like I'm trying to tell you, the storm is fueled by a hotter ocean, which makes it a more aggressive storm that can come at you from nowhere.
Noted.
Don't underestimate it. It's going to hit D.C., and I want to be in my lab for the action. I certainly don't want to have my tail up here when it hits.
What a lovely tale it is.
Mr. Razio.
Okay, group. Headline reads, first DC casualty of Hurricane Sigrid.
2 columns, bottom.
Hey, if I can get someone with the passengers, I'll have a little more, all right? Okay, here goes. A small twin-engine jet stream landing in a heavy crosswind spun and crashed on runway 36, effectively shutting down Washington Airport.
A twin engine?
Yep. Twin engine. Yeah, it's in a real bad place between runway 36 and 33.
Passengers.
Crew and passengers evacuated safely, then follow with massive diversions and a snarl of airborne craft and holding patterns.
Snarl.
File that. I can't get out of here, Ian. I won't be able to get anything more in the storm until I do. I'm gonna see if I can find a seat somewhere and get Washington approach control on my scanner.
Washington National, how long a delay?
We have no information on that, Scott Air. We'll advise. We can give you holding clearance or clear you to Dulles or Baltimore.
Roger that. I'm gonna head back, talk to our new passenger. Mrs. Henry?
Vivian, please.
Vivian, we can land right now at Dulles if you want to change your destination.
Why?
Problems at Washington National. Could be a while before it opens.
My cargo has to be at the Pentagon within an hour of landing. My transportation's at National. I want to wait and see if it reopens.
I understand. Okay. Approach, we'll take the hold. We need to get into National ASAP, and it'd be nice not to be stuck up here when Sigrid blows into town.
Roger, Scott Air 50. You're cleared direct to Georgetown. Radio beacon to hold is depicted at 10,000 feet, right-hand turn.
Roger, hold is depicted at the Georgetown beacon. Standard right turns, 10,000 feet.
Sir? Something doesn't fit here.
What have you got?
There was a shipment of high-priority Nero pallets out of Miami, Scott Air 50. Somehow it got rerouted to Tallahassee.
Good work.
Okay.
Sir,
I'll get back to you.
we found the aircraft we suspect is carrying the material.
And?
It's in a holding pattern over Washington.
Okay, get the team into the conference room. Give me a line to that plane and to all the bases. Andrews, Pax River, McGuire. Where's that new agent? What's his name?
Bill Andrews, sir.
Bill. DEA's been trying to stick their nose into this. Head them off. Welcome to the FBI.
But, Sana, I want the names and backgrounds of everyone on that plane.
Where's my big girl? Oh, nice hug. Nice hug. Here we come.
Where's Jerry? He's flying. I see.
Well, I could only watch us bore circular holes in the sky for so long. I'm gonna stretch out a little bit. Ladies? Excuse me, Doctor, but do you have any batteries taking in your time-critical equipment?
Why?
Well, I hope it's not important, but there's some kind of electronic alarm going off back there. What's going on? I'll let you know.
think it's coming from your second pal on the right.
I don't know what it could be.
This one.
It's not coming from my stuff. It's probably coming from the one that you loaded by mistake.
All right. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's definitely coming from this one.
What was that, Miss Henry?
I don't know.
Well, what's in there?
A prototype of something my ex-husband asked me to deliver to Washington.
Was there supposed to be anything in there running or turned on?
No,
Let's open it.
absolutely not. This is not your property, and his instructions were very specific.
Miss Henry, we're a commercial cargo aircraft in flight. We have jurisdiction over everything that we carry. Now, something in your cargo is sounding a warning. It's trying to tell us something. And unless your husband gave you specific instructions about what to do in case you heard such a warning, we have to figure out what that alarm is. We're opening it. Drop-down panel. Jerry, go give me a set of those Allen wrenches.
Please, don't touch it.
There's a sensor that's responding to us. Why?
I don't know why, but this was intended to be opened at the Pentagon by people who do know why.
We don't have time, Miss Henry. There's a removable panel here for a purpose. It may have instructions on what to do. I'm not going to mess anything up by opening it. See, no problem.
Oh, okay, it's fixed. Let's seal it up.
Hey, wait. This is some kind of internal navigation system tracking our position.
Hello, my name is Medusa. Thank you for taking me home. By now, I should be situated within the physical confines of the Pentagon, and my position has been locked into memory. Any attempt to move me from my present location or deactivate me will result in instant detonation.
Scott Air 50.
Scott Air. This is Tony DiStefano, Deputy Director of the FBI.
Uh-huh.
You flew out of Miami International this morning, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, Scott Air. About the time you took off, we received information that undocumented hazardous material was detected in the area. We believe that material may be on board your aircraft.
What kind of material are we talking about?
We need you to land immediately.
We have the appropriate people ready to examine the cargo. You haven't unloaded anything since you left Miami, have you?
No, it's all still on board. Now, you got what you need. You mind telling me what you're looking for? Are we in any danger?
Captain, I doubt you're in any immediate danger. But I can't say for certain.
Okay. We're holding over National. Where do you want us to land?
Right now, we're thinking of bringing you down at Andrews Air Force Base, but hang tight until we get the final word.
Okay.
Scott,
you gotta listen. Jerry, please. Not right now.
Hold everything, Ian. I just came in on a transmission from FBI headquarters to a plane holding over Washington National. They're diverting it to Andrews. Something's up.
On what basis?
It sounded to me like whatever the FBI thinks is on that plane has their undivided attention.
Drugs?
No, I think it's more serious than that.
We get back to that cargo bay right now.
We lose a wing?
No.
I'm staying right here, thank you.
Listen to me. We opened that Henry woman's pallet. We found a large metal container with a computer screen. You have got to see the message.
Well, what a coincidence. The FBI think we've got hazardous material on board. Is it leaking?
You have got to get back there, okay? This thing has an internal navigation system that may be malfunctioning. It thinks it's in the Pentagon.
We've passed the Pentagon before we started the hold.
Scott, you need to get back there. This thing could be a bomb.
This is just great. I have a knockdown drag out with my wife, and I let a bomb on board.
It couldn't be a bomb,
Just
could it?
calm down, one step at a time. Vivian, what does this warning mean?
I'm thinking he probably...
Who's he?
My ex-husband. He probably programmed in a series of warnings as part of the mock-up. See, this is a test item designed to show the Pentagon what he discovered. It's not real.
How can you be sure?
I'm sure. My ex-husband.
What does your ex-husband do?
He's a nuclear physicist. He worked for the government at Los Alamos.
Listen, damage in Bermuda is old news. We got something breaking here. This thing is coming ashore now. Get a crew on it. I don't want to hear that. Yeah. All right. Got pictures from the Nimbus 8, the one they launched last year. They see nearly a 35-foot surge around the southern Virginia coast, expecting devastation. Boardwalks, waterfront property, beachfronts, everything.
Don, it's Bob.
Hey, Bob. Yeah, of course the guys upstairs are pushing regular programming. No, wait. We're staying live on this. Go Siri.
I'm here on the North Carolina coast where story has moved from preparation and evacuation to disaster. Now what you see behind me is the leading edge of Hurricane Sigrid as it prepares to batter the shores and beaches of this quiet state.
Sir, the plane will be at Andrews within the hour. We want to be sure that the nuclear material that set off the Miami machine is what's on board the 737.
Navy has another neutron sniffer at Patuxent River Naval Base.
That's correct, sir. They're rushing it to Andrews. It should take about 90 minutes. When the 737 lands, we'll hit it again with the sniffer just to be sure.
Okay. We have that under control.
Mr. Director.
CIA is worried about foreign involvement. They're sending some people over from Langley. NSA is lobbying to participate. ATF is Benny Might here demanding a role. FAA is starting a turf war over who can land the plane and where.
Screw them. We're in charge. And our first order is to get that plane on the ground at Andrews and find out whether they're carrying nuclear material.
Sir, I have the Air Force Pentagon Command Post on the line. They say forget bringing that plane anywhere near Andrews with suspected nuclear material aboard.
On whose authority?
The President's.
Okay, so we got a hot 737 overhead and nowhere to land it.
Vivian, this could be more serious than you think. Now, I need you to be very clear about what you know. Everything.
I thought I was clear. Now I'm not sure what I know. He said it was just a model. Maybe it's some kind of joke.
Why would he do that?
He has that kind of... When I divorced him, he was very angry, vengeful. Maybe this is his sick way of trying to scare me.
Vivian, there are too many coincidental things going on for this to be some elaborate practical joke. Right now, the FBI is looking for a package containing hazardous material. Now, they seem to be convinced that we're carrying it.
What kind of material?
They're being vague.
He couldn't have.
Why not? Everything that message said seemed to point to just that. Now, let's start this over again. What is this thing supposed to be? What is it supposed to do?
Okay. When he was at Los Alamos, he discovered what he termed the Medusa effect.
I have no idea what that is.
EMP, an electromagnetic pulse so fierce he called it Medusa.
So what are you saying? It turns things to stone?
It melts them. Anything with a computer chip in it.
Okay.
If a government could create this ultimate EMP, it could destroy modern society's ability to communicate, compute, transmit electricity, or use any electronic circuit.
All right, I know that AV was always trying to, what they called, harden all of its circuits and chips against any EMP the Soviets might use.
Even back then, Rogers knew the world was becoming totally dependent on computers and computer codes. He believed the U.S. had to come up with Medusa first, or run the risk of being neutralized or blackmailed.
Is this a Medusa weapon?
No. I don't see how he could have made it. He said it was just a mock-up.
Vivian, I'm having a real big problem with this, okay? Now, either you believe him or you don't.
I don't know what I believe.
Okay, let's assume he lied to you. And this is the real thing right here. How would it work?
As I understand it, in order to create a Medusa effect or wave.
What?
First, have to have a thermonuclear explosion.
Nash has all the credentials. Naval officer, Annapolis, decorated fighter pilot, but he's a cowboy. He's left a trail of superior officers who tremble when you say his name.
So?
When he flew F-14s, he bounced so many landings, they used to call him Tigger.
Tigger?
Too much bounce on the tail. He's wild. He's a loose cannon.
Tigger.
Yeah.
You got him.
Captain, this is Tony DiStefano again.
1 second, sir. I'm going to patch you over to my interphone. Go ahead.
We're going to set you down at Pax River Naval Station. You know it?
Of course I know it. Why Pax River? Why not something further out west out of the storm's path?
We'd like to do that, but Pax River is the only place close enough with equipment to examine your cargo.
Look, Mr. DiStefano, I'm not landing anywhere until I know what I'm dealing with up here. I haven't checked the winds at Pax River, but I can guess. Now I want a straight answer. What do you think we have aboard this plane, and what are your reasons for thinking so?
Tony. Do you think we can risk this?
If I want this guy's cooperation, I gotta be straight with him. Captain, based on some very sophisticated equipment at Miami International, we've come to believe that there is high-grade nuclear material on board your aircraft.
Oh, great. Nuclear material.
Shut up. Shut up. Why don't we stop dancing here? Are we talking about plutonium?
That's exactly what we're talking about, Captain. By the way, you can cut the Sir stuff. It's Tony.
Okay, Tony.
We need you to get to Pax River immediately. You'll be met there by a naval officer and one of our people, and I would appreciate it if you'd give them your full cooperation. Scott, I also need the full names of everyone on board that aircraft, including your 2 passengers.
Yeah, well, I think you have that already, Tony, but I'll play. I've got 2 passengers, Dr. Linda McCoy,
Unbelievable.
Vivian Henry. My first officer is Dom Hazard, Jerry Cornell is my second officer, and I'm Captain Scott Nash.
Okay, Scott, thanks. We'll get back to you.
Hold it, Tony. There's something I've got to tell you.
All right. Go ahead.
We discovered something on board.
I'm listening.
Okay, listen up, everyone. I just stumbled onto something here. No, it could be nothing, or it could be an incredibly major story. I need background, anything you can get for me on a scientist named Dr. Rogers Henry. His ex-wife's name is Vivian, also a Dr. Linda McCoy, and check out the names of the crew members I gave you. Check, but don't do anything.
We're on it, but what's on board?
The FBI believes there's fissionable material on Scott Air 50.
Oh, boy.
There's more. I'm heading for the office now. Remember, just be careful, all right? If this is a test, we could panic everyone in the country.
And what if it isn't?
Dude, we've got a live nuke flying over Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Dean, thank God you're there.
Viv, what's the matter?
You've got to get to Rogers. I don't care what you have to do.
Wait, what's going on?
Rogers has done something. I don't know what.
All right, hold on. Now just take it easy.
This thing I'm bringing to the Pentagon, the Medusa mock-up, it could be real.
No, Viv, come on. It's not possible. It's just got to be another one of his crazy stunts.
And if it isn't, do you know what I could have done?
All right. Who knows about this?
The FBI. That's what's got me so frightened. They're treating this as if it's real.
Okay, well then they're going to know what to do, so don't worry.
Well, maybe not. I mean, what if it's something nobody has seen yet? Only Rogers knows what this is. Dean, you have to get to him. Try his home, then the cottage. Write this down. There were other scientists who work with him on Medusa Project. One is a Dr. Clarence Barker. He's right near you on Old Road in Sullivan. Get to him and see if he knows anything about what Rogers has been working on. Oh, good. It's doing something.
What's going on?
I am now fully armed. All anti-disarming safeguards are activated. Only Mrs. Vivian Henry possesses the ability to disarm me. If I am not deactivated, my final countdown will begin.
Oh my God.
The presence of Vivian Henry has been detected.
How does it know?
What are they doing back there? Hey, chill out. Don't add to the situation.
Pick up the phone, you piece of garbage.
Vivian! Step forward and disarm the device. All you have to do is enter some numbers. It's very simple, Vivian. Even you can do it. Step forward, Vivian. As the screen says, I can detect your presence.
This has to be a joke.
You're curious as to how? Your pacemaker. It has a unique electronic signal. I logged onto it. So now I can always locate you electronically. If you move more than 15 feet from me, I will detonate this device instantly.
Oh, God.
Vivian, you hold the future of the United States in your hand. All you have to do is enter some simple numbers. You remember our old 5-digit PIN number from our joint bank account? Key it in now.
The number is, it was...
Just relax.
5, 5, 553 7 2.
Wrong, 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 Vivian. You entered the wrong PIN number. The countdown will begin now. This whole thing is your fault, Vivian.
Oh, that's right. 55372. That's right.
Stanley, Ambassador Terry is on with me.
Mr. President, our plan right now is to move the plane back to Pax River as you directed.
But?
There's a wrinkle, Mr. President.
Stanley, just tell me, please.
Apparently, there's a device on the plane that's claiming to be a 20-megaton weapon.
Could this be true?
The readings Miami picked up were strong enough to make that likely. The readout on the bomb, or whatever it is, says 3 hours and 29 minutes. Sir, this thing could vaporize everything within a 50-mile radius.
3 hours and 29 minutes. Where is it now?
Still over D.C., sir.
That is totally unacceptable. I want it out of there, and quickly, too. How long before the plane reaches Pax River?
We can get them there in about 30 minutes, sir.
Stanley, can we assume that it's a coincidence that this happened while the president was on his way to the Middle East?
Jim.
We think it's unrelated, Madam Ambassador.
If we left right now, how long would it take us to get home?
Less than 6 hours, sir.
Stan, I can't get back to Washington in less than 6 hours.
We think that's good news, sir. If this thing detonates, we wouldn't want you in Air Force One anywhere near the East Coast.
Listen to this, Stanley. This thing, or whatever it is, isn't going to detonate on or near American soil. I want you to set up Star Suite immediately. I want to be all over this. Could you help me disengage gracefully?
Okay, Scott, let's work this through. The device seems less concerned with where it is than where the wife is, correct?
Seems so.
Okay. Then if all the messages are related to where the wife moves, I'm gonna say that it's safe to leave the area and head to Pax.
If we're reading the thing right.
I know your background, Scott. You made these kind of calls every time you landed an F-14 on a carrier deck. You're reading it right.
Yeah, well, Tony, I never made a decision that could affect more people than...
Yeah, I know. But we don't have a choice. Look, I know you think it's easy for me to send you to Pax. I'm not up there, but we're right below you. If anything happens, we go too. Everybody goes. Scott, listen to me. If that device was telling the truth, take me from the Pentagon and I'll blow. It would have already blown.
I'm there. We're gonna go for it.
All right. How's everybody holding up?
We're doing great. Washington approach. Scott Air 50. I need immediate vector. Pax River Naval Air Station. Latest weather there.
I gotta call the FBI. Rogers is...
Vivian! I detect you have moved away from me. You're not listening, Vivian. If you move more than 15 feet away from me, I will detonate instantly. You see? You will remain here and die. Even if everyone else in the Pentagon escapes, you will die.
Vivian, don't move. I'll be right back.
Hello?
Coming.
Dr. Clarence Barker.
Yes.
My name is Dean Cooper. I'm the friend of Vivian Henry's. I'm not sure if you know.
Oh, for goodness sake, how is she?
She's fine. Listen, she wanted me to contact you about a very urgent matter.
Then she's not fine. Do you have any identification, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, I do. I haven't been able to get in touch with Rogers Henry, which is why I need to talk to you.
Well, I'll tell you what I can.
Doctor, what do you know about the Medusa project?
What do you know about it?
Nothing. Nothing but what Vivian told me. I know the name. I know it involves some sort of electromagnetic pulse which can shut down a computer-based country.
Well, that would make it the ultimate weapon in modern warfare, now wouldn't it?
I know that you were working on it with Rogers Henry. Did you succeed?
I signed the usual oath, Dean.
Come on, it can't still be classified. All right, let's do it this way. If I told you that on a plane right now flying over D.C. was a live prototype of the Medusa weapon, what would be your response?
Can't happen.
Thank God.
Vivian, he's on the line with the FBI, so I'll relay your messages. Just don't move.
Okay. Tell them he lives at 17650 South Fork Road. But when they get there, tell him they have to be very careful about the way they handle him.
He said he lives at 17650 South Fork Road. Just tell him to be very careful.
We know that. Tell her we have all the information and they're on the way to his house now.
If he feels threatened, he'll toy with them and pretend like he's trying to help him.
He says he'll just lead you around, toy with you, pretend to be helping you.
Okay, Scott, can you, Sammy?
Yes, sir.
Can you calm her down? Tell her we really do know how to handle these things.
Then listen! He doesn't give anything for nothing. So give him this message from me. Tell him I know what he wants. Say, I'll come back to him. I'll take care of him, whatever he wants. But he has to tell them how to stop this thing. And tell them not to leave until he does.
Review. Co-pilot Dom Hazard, nicknamed Doc. Ex-Marine, looks good. Flight engineer Jerry Carnell, no military history, but clean. Pilot Scott Nash, we've done him. No criminal history. Military clearance, top secret. Still active, but also clean. I'm telling you, this is our hot area. The scientist Dr. Linda McCoy and this Vivian Henry.
Donna, don't jump.
Not yet. It's on public record that we felt we were close to a breakthrough with the Medusa project, and the government cancelled it. But we never did find the trigger.
Were you close to finding it?
We felt we were.
Now, wait a minute. How close? I mean, could Rogers Henry have completed this work on his own?
No. Well, theoretically he could.
I was hoping you were going to tell me it would be impossible for him to get a hold of plutonium.
Oh, it isn't. Not at his level. I mean, he had access to everything.
Doctor, he got Vivian to take a live prototype of the Medusa weapon to D.C. She is sitting on a plane with it right now.
That's impossible. He'd have to have tested it.
What if this were the test? He's been working on it for 8 years, right?
Oh, my God.
Right, listen to me. I know the lengths that he would go to hurt Vivian. Do you think he's capable of attacking his own country?
Well, he's nuts, of course. If he's not at home, there's that vacation place.
Yes, I know where it is. I'm going. Get in touch with the other scientists if you can. Maybe they know something.
Dr. Feldheim, please. It's urgent.
Hello.
Hello, is this Dr. Clarence Barker?
Who's calling, please?
My name is Peter Cook. I'm with the Washington Sentinel.
I have nothing to say to you, Mr. Cook.
Wait, don't hang up, sir. Please, I really need your help on this. But Dr. Barker, we already know what's happening on the cargo plane. We also know that you work with the Dr. Rogers Henry at Los Alamos. Now, rather than going with speculation, we'd really like to get the correct information from you. All the background you can give me.
Mr. Cook, give me a number. I'll call you back.
555-0154.
Winds are now at 360 degrees at 48 knots. Gust to 65.
You're telling me.
Dr. Barker?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling back, sir.
Not here. The house is empty, Tony.
Get us anything you can.
Tear the place apart.
So you're saying the Medusa project was terminated before it was ever developed?
That is correct.
Well, Is it a Medusa weapon flying around over D.C. or not?
I have no way to answer that, Mr. Cook.
Theoretically speaking, is it possible?
I am not going to theorize.
Okay, you've described to me how the Medusa weapon was supposed to work. Now, assuming the actuality of such a device, what would the outcome be?
Mr. Cook, I am not prepared to create a national panic, so I am assuming nothing.
Anything here?
Hey, Tony? Yeah, it looks like some kind of a workshop. Possibly a laboratory. It's definitely been stripped clean. It's hot. The entire barn's hot.
Traces of plutonium. Rogers Henry is our man. He's disappeared.
He wasn't at the house. Is there any other place Rogers Henry would have gone?
Off Highway 1. Make a right and go for exactly a mile, then left on the private road.
You make a right, you go for 1 mile, and then a left on a private road. You better strap yourself in right now.
Okay, we got that. We're dispatching a team now.
Tony, what do you know about a Medusa weapon?
What about it?
Well, you think there'd be nothing worse than floating a 20-megaton nuke over the White House. But this thing is also claiming to generate a huge electromagnetic pulse, a Medusa wave.
Scott, I can talk to you about a lot of things, but not this. Get me energy, the Medusa file. I want you to keep this line open, okay?
Roger that.
The waves continue to batter the coast. With the human tragedy, we sometimes forget about the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
And the things that are
Got it.
are packed with strays, and volunteers are also needed.
Go to Siri before she blows offshore.
Done.
Now let's
Hang on.
Siri Markman has force along the North Carolina.
Going to you, Siri.
Run! You can see behind me! Our van has been blown over! This is unbelievable!
Done. Hang on.
The first event is heading north towards Delaware!
What? See what Manny's got.
I think you should look at this.
Go to evacuation film over her, then to Manny. Talk or get out.
I just intercepted a weird set of messages between two guys on the net. They were talking about some sort of Medusa weapon flying in a cargo plane over D.C.
Crap. A couple of Trekkie.
Why is the Washington Sentinel sniffing around? Peter Cook apparently contacted one of the scientists, and the guy called him back.
Get our guy at the Pentagon.
He's even in the cabin. What? Keep me on this line. I do not want any helicopters before you're in place. You don't need him to bolt on us. Look, you get him, I want him flown to PAX. I don't care how you take him down, but I want him in condition to disarm this sucker. Okay? If we don't turn down the volume and the temperature, we're going to screw this up. Bill, what do you got?
Weather at PAX is deteriorating fast.
Does anybody here have something I want to hear? Donna?
The base commander at PAX says the weather is too bad. He's closing the base.
That's terrific. That's wonderful. Get me the director. I'll be in my office.
You're apparently working the same story we are. Now, you got sources, we got sources. The story's immediate and big. We're looking for confirmation.
That's exactly what we're talking about here.
Medusa.
It's your dime.
Our sources say there's supposed to be a hot nuke somewhere over
DC that threatens computer chips and computer systems nationwide, in addition to killing
a few million people.
Then go with your sources.
Peter, don't yank my chain.
We also know you've been in contact with a scientist from Los Alamos, a Dr. Clarence Barker. Look, your print,
we're broadcast. Your deadline's tomorrow, ours is now. How about sharing? Peter, we're going with the story. You can either cooperate, give us what you have, we'll credit you,
whatever you want,
or we go without you, and you go in the dumper.
All right. Let's start with something going on at Pax River.
Damage is estimated in the tens of millions. We just got word that the main threat to us now are tornadoes and massive flooding over a wide area. Greg, people here are in shock. All across the eastern seaboard, we're getting reports of injuries and deaths, particularly in the areas which have been evacuated. Damage estimates along the coast are already being put in the billions of dollars. As always, there are some diehards who refuse to leave during an evacuation, but police have suspended evacuation efforts and are hunkered down like everyone else. As you can see, Hurricane Sigrid is ravaging the coast. People are terrified. The damage is extensive.
What's our call on this?
We think it can blow, and if the nuclear wizards at PAX can't defuse it, it will.
So we landed at PAX regardless of the weather. The base commander's overruled.
No, he's toast. Stanley ordered him to stand aside. Listen, Tony, officially, we're more panicked about the possibility of a Medusa wave.
Are we still in control of this?
It's a turf war. As soon as you get the plane on the ground, we'll lose it. But for now, it's ours.
And get in the car and head to your mother's.
What are you, nuts? It's a 10-hour drive.
Just do what I say, Gina.
Do you know what the weather is like here? Do you want to tell me what's going on?
I can't. I shouldn't even be on this phone.
Go on upstairs. Over.
Don't ask me any questions. Just do what I say.
Tony, tell me what's going on.
Do you remember 6 years ago? Man I was looking for in Guatemala.
Yes.
Do you remember what we thought he planted? Don't say it. Just tell me if you remember.
Yeah.
And how relieved we were that it was a false alarm.
Oh, no.
It's happening, Gina. It's happening now. It's happening for real. Get in the car. Head as far west from D.C. as you can. Don't talk to anybody and keep your cell phone on.
And Tony, what about you?
I'll be all right as long as I know that you and the kids are. Go, honey. I love you.
That's what I'm saying. She met her husband and married him while working for the government at Los Alamos in trigger production.
So she knows her way around nuclear weapons.
She's divorced from Dr. Henry for 2 years. Suddenly, she shows up on a plane with a nuclear device she says her ex-husband built.
Well, what we have here are two vastly different pictures of this woman. One is an angry, vengeful woman, enraged when her husband's project is canceled. The other's an abused former spouse, conned by her dying ex-husband into innocently taking a nuclear weapon to the Pentagon.
The woman in the first scenario is masquerading as a woman in the second scenario.
Maybe. All right. Let's play it this way. When the plane lands, the crew and the passengers are to be arrested, detained, and secured according to standard procedure for hijackings. We'll sort out the good guys from the bad later.
With a 20-megaton explosion, the entire D.C. area would be history. Uninhabitable for at least 1,000 years.
You're talking several million people.
They die instantly. Another several million die within a year from radiation poisoning. It's unimaginable.
What about this Medusa wave?
Well, as Barker explains it, any nuclear explosion creates an electromagnetic pulse. The Medusa project was trying to design a continent-wide secondary wave which would immobilize electronics, transportation, utilities. Now, if this thing is real, a pulse like that could cripple all of North America, maybe Europe.
We don't know if it's real.
You better pray it's not. Don, you know, if you go with this story...
Yeah, I know. Look, the people on the 5th floor haven't made a decision on this yet. They're still trying to assess the national security risks, but I gotta be ready for a live break-in. I mean, we can at least evacuate D.C.
You can't go with this story until you're absolutely sure.
Let's go talk to somebody.
We weigh 140,000 pounds. For normal flaps landing, that's an approach speed of about 140 knots.
Okay, 140 minus about 50 knots of headwind. That's 90 knots. I'm gonna go-kart that fast.
Bottom line is we got no choice. Scholar 50, are we cleared to approach?
Lightning strike. Not dangerous.
Just scary as hell.
We're gonna go with the yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, folks, we're a go.
Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Stand by, take one.
Cleared to 3,000 feet.
Right, great.
Scout Air 55 present heading. Clear to approach runway 32. Maintain 2,500 feet until on course inbound. Contact the tower now.
Scout Air 50, cleared approach, 2,500 until on course. Cleared approach.
Roger.
What are you doing? Very quiet. You understand? We gotta get that guy in that house. He's the only one who can stop a disaster.
What do you know about the man in the house?
Listen to me, all right? His name is Rogers Henry. He's a nuclear scientist. His ex-wife is my fiancée. She's on a plane right now, flying over Washington with some kind of device that lunatic created. We gotta get to him.
You're not going anywhere near that house. The information you just gave me is classified.
Get him out here. No, you don't know what you're doing. You're making a big mistake.
We got one suspect in custody. We're moving in for subject.
Set me up on the inbound now. That's 330. I'm gonna hold an extra 30 knots for wind shear.
I would suggest faster. Plus 40.
Okay, plus 40.
Clear to land. The runway's open for you, Scout Air. Landing is at your discretion.
This is one hell of a crosswind. Trapping nearly 30 degrees from the runway.
Scott, I'd be ready for a go-around. Don't press it. We got plenty of fuel.
Going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Clear and cue.
Good afternoon. We have unconfirmed reports that at this moment in the skies over the eastern United States, a civilian cargo jet, a Boeing 737, operating under the name of Scott Air, was ordered by the FBI to land at Patuxent River Naval Station. VCA sources have been monitoring ground-to-air communications, and we can confirm that the FBI believes the Scott Air flight to be carrying a nuclear device secreted in its cargo. The VCA has also learned that the crew aboard the aircraft believe the bomb to be counting down to an automatic detonation in less than 3 hours from now. There have been instant denials of this story by the White House and other government agencies.
Set final speed. I'm going to continue down to minimum descent altitude. Okay, field is in sight ahead. Let's call it a visual.
This is it.
There he is. See him?
Yeah, we got a visual.
Landing checklist. Auto speed brake. Hard, green light. Auto brake. Set. Gear. Down in 3 green. 15. Flap override warning on.
Still nothing?
Yep. I'll tell you when it's something.
Is set to go off in a little more than 2.5 hours from now. The BCA has also discovered that the type of weapon aboard this aircraft is one
Got wind shear. Thing jumped 20 to 30 knots.
I know, I can feel it.
Could be microburst. Oh, wind shear! Wind shear!
This weapon would also attack our economy by...
We're dropping 2,000 feet a minute.
Son of a bitch! No nothing! Get the wheel, Scotty!
We're drifting left. We're drifting left. We're off the runway center line.
I know it! Left elevator! Get out! No jump!
That's the taxiway. Bring it back to the right. Right! Right! Right, right! Get this on the deck right now. Not enough one-way stop. Go around. Go around. My God, he's on a runway. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Rotate. We got speed. Rotate. Get it up. Get it up. Hold up. Nose up. Climb, baby. Climb. Come on. Come on. Nose up, Scotty. Scotty. Gear up. Gear up. Gear up. 130 knots and rising.
Okay. Give me a clearance out west, south, anywhere but here. We're not doing that a second time.
Vivian! We couldn't land.
Rogers Henry just shot himself.
on the TV. Someone just leaked the story.
BCA sources have been monitoring ground-to-air communications, and we can confirm that the FBI believes the Scott Air flight to be carrying a nuclear device secreted in its cargo. There have been instant denials by the White House and other government agencies, but BCA sources tell us that the nuclear device aboard Scott Air 50 is set to go off in a little more than 2.5 hours from now. BCA has also discovered that the type of weapon aboard this aircraft is one that which, if exploded over or near a modern society, would not only kill several million people, but this weapon would also attack our economy, devastating all computer systems, all computer-based banking and financing, communications, and even the television network you're watching at this moment.
Great. Great stuff. Hey, it's information. It's our job.
It had to break. There's been too much activity at PAX.
PAX is out. This guy's a crack pilot if he could put it down. Storm's moving north fast. Should be past Seymour Johnson by the time they have to land it. We're evacuating the base now. The minute they land, we bring in a C-141, fly the thing out.
We may not be able to move the device or the woman.
Then we emulate the signal in her pacemaker. Get her off, put our pilots on, fly it out over the Atlantic. They jump and blow it.
Fallout?
Well, it depends on how far out we get.
They almost crashed at PAX. They're heading them to Seymour Johnson. Give me the weather at Seymour.
Autopilot on.
Okay, here's the deal. They want us to fly to Seymour Johnson. They have a plan, they always do. We're not in on it. I don't like it, but the situation's controlling us.
Well, let's review what we got. First of all, the device could be a dud.
Not an option. I'm not taking that chance.
Okay. The FBI can track down the good doctor and just beat the codes out of him. Or 3, we could saw it open and start pulling wires.
Hey, you're right. I see us at 4. No word from the mad scientist. No way to stop the countdown. We got to get it to the experts who can.
Yeah, that's right. So let's do it. Well, what if they can't stop it?
4A. We can't open our door in flight. We transfer the thing to a C-141. They got a back door. They fly it out, drop it in the sea. Population saved.
Population, that's my wife and kids. Well, then there's Vivian Henry. She can't get more than 15 feet away from the thing or it explodes. We know he's tracking. The only question is he going to give us another warning before it?
Yeah, I think he would. The SOB wants to torture her. If he ends it, she's out of her misery. He's going to keep warning her and warning her.
You know, I hate to bring this up, but we're all assuming Vivian is some innocent victim. Nobody's brought up the alternative.
No way, I don't buy it.
Why not? She brought the thing on board. We're going to be all analytical about her position. We might as well think about all the alternatives.
Your fiancé is transporting a thermonuclear device at 33,000 feet. The entire eastern seaboard of the United States is being put at risk. Now do you see our problem?
The problem is that you don't listen. He told Vivian it was a mock-up. She called me, she had no idea what was going on, and she was scared to death.
Doesn't it strike you as peculiar that Mrs. Henry's engaged to you? Yet when her ex-husband calls, whom you say she detested, asks her to deliver a piece of machinery to the Pentagon, she goes along and does it?
No. See, it's not peculiar if you know her. She pitied him, all right? He was dying. It was his last request. But she would never do anything like this to her own country.
I'm very touched, Mr. Cooper. But let's cut to it. What exactly does Vivian Henry want? Or is she suicidal?
I think you better call this number.
Tony, listen. The guy our people are questioning at Florida, Dean Cooper. Tom Braden at CIA called me. There's no breach. Our people in Miami called Langley.
What the hell for? This is not a CIA operation.
In. The call was made at Cooper's request.
What is going on?
Cooper was CIA. He left the agency 5 years ago to go into the communications business.
Oh, come on.
He wasn't an operative. He was a systems analyst. They were surprised issue to hear from him. Anyway, he says the Henry woman is not involved. He wants permission to contact her.
This is a lousy situation, and I am not sure we're not all being manipulated. Now you're telling me that Dean Cooper is CIA?
But I don't think they're walking on our turf here. They trust the guy. They don't know about the wound, but they think he may be able to help us. Think about it, file it away. Use it if you need it.
Why the Pentagon?
Because the man responsible for killing the Medusa project is sitting in the Pentagon. Stanley Shapiro, Secretary of Defense.
If his prime target was the Pentagon, then why all the stuff with the wife?
It's a smokescreen. It's supposed to look like she's the victim.
Bill, what are your ideas on this?
Sir, she waged a one-woman campaign to get the government to reinstate her husband's project. She lobbied Capitol Hill, pro-hostile letters.
Well, you gotta hear this. I got a cargo supervisor on the line from Miami. He said he was threatened today by Vivian Henry.
Yes, sir. What exactly did Mrs. Henry say to you?
She was like crazy. I mean, first she's this nice, gentle lady, and then she starts threatening me.
What did she say, sir?
Oh, she was talking about good news and bad news and how she's going to put me out of business. And then she looks at me real direct, and she said, I will personally see to it that you regret the day you mishandled my cargo. Like we did it just to get her or something.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that information. Okay. Okay, we're going to move on this as if Vivian Henry is our prime target. Now, she could be in that cockpit, so we have to be careful. We're not going to tell her that her husband is dead. If she panics, it could be a mess.
Okay, John, what's the problem?
We want to change the plan. We need that weapon.
No, it's out of the question.
Look, Stan, years ago, you were the one who canceled the Medusa project. You have to step up to that. If you hadn't canceled it, we'd know what we were dealing with here.
I was following the president's orders.
I understand that, but now we have a different president. He might not agree with that decision. So let's play this right. If Rogers Henry succeeded in creating a Medusa effect weapon, let's get inside it, see how it works.
We don't even know...
Which is why we have to try to salvage it by defusing it instead of dumping it in the ocean.
You want to play a game of chicken with an armed thermonuclear weapon on U.S. soil? What if you can't defuse it?
Look, you know we have contingency plans. We'll be wiring it with explosives even while the disposal squad is trying to defuse it. If they can't defuse it, they'll detonate the explosives and destroy the trigger.
Suppose the clock is lying. What if it goes off early, kills millions of people in North Carolina, and devastates our economy when we could have set it off safely in the Atlantic? Do you want to risk that, John? Just to study it?
If you'd have studied it when you had the chance, we wouldn't have to make this decision, now would we, Stan?
What the hell is going on? Why hasn't anyone gotten to Rogers Henry?
Scott, you're certain Mrs. Henry can't hear us?
Yes. What is up with you people?
I'm telling you this in confidence. Under no circumstances are you to give this information to Vivian Henry.
Go ahead. Rogers Henry committed suicide 30 minutes ago. Scott, I need to know if you or your crew are under any duress. Just a yes or no will do.
No, absolutely not. I don't like where this is going, Tony.
I understand.
No, you don't. This woman is an innocent victim of her ex-husband's insanity.
Well, that may be so, Scott, but then I don't know if she's got a weapon on you at this moment.
Crying out loud, Tony.
Look, I'm taking what you say at face value.
But there are a few things you need to know.
Number one, she took that weapon aboard your plane
Willingly, knowing her husband was a nut. Why didn't she
refuse?
Maybe he's an animal in bed. How the hell should I know?
She threatened a cargo supervisor.
That's why you went back for her, correct?
And when you were in a holding pattern over D.C., she pressured you to land at Washington National.
She had made arrangements. She was just...
Yes.
Those arrangements were to take that bomb to the Pentagon. And consider this. While they were married, he was working on the project in their barn. Do you really believe she didn't know anything about it?
Tony? Yes, sir?
I'll get back to you.
I was right, wasn't I? You're thinking the same thing I am.
Looks that way.
So what are we gonna do?
I gotta work on that, Jerry. Both you and the FBI could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, we must be wrong because you don't agree.
Jerry, you got a serious problem with pressure.
No. I'm the only one who sees what's going on here. And the FBI...
Enough! You do have a problem with pressure. And you fly the plane.
What's going on with you, huh?
What, a nuclear bomb strapped to my butt isn't enough?
Your butt was on fire before you came in this morning. Before anything happened.
My husband is on Scott Air Flight 50. I have to talk to him.
All contact with the plane is being controlled to the FBI.
Then put me through to the FBI. I have a right to talk to my husband.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't help you any further.
I just want to talk to Jerry. I can be so pig-headed sometimes. He had to fly with Scott. If he hadn't blown the job with American, this never would have...
He didn't blow the American job, Patty. He wasn't up to it.
How can you say that? What do you know about it?
I know that Jerry is a great flight engineer. I also know that that isn't good enough for you. Your father was a pilot, and you won't accept anything less than your husband.
Jerry wants to be a pilot.
No, honey. He's happy doing what he does. But he knows you're not, and he wants to please you.
I don't push him.
Yes, you do. You don't want the kids to see you like this. Jerry's gonna be just fine. They said they had everything under control.
Mom, I did something terrible. Jerry and I...
You had a fight.
It was more than a fight. I said some terrible things. I was just so mad and disappointed about the American job. And he phoned, and I didn't pick up the phone. This is the first time I ever let him take off without talking to me first.
Honey, take responsibility for what's yours and leave the rest alone. This didn't happen because you let Jerry get on a flight without saying goodbye to him. We don't have that kind of power, sweetheart. If we did, we could prevent anything bad from happening. It's gonna be all right.
Gentlemen. So, Stanley, we're in agreement on the changes. I appreciate your support.
Please sit down. Is everyone all set? Yes, sir. All right, Jim, let's go. Good afternoon. Do you read me?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Now, John, the original plan was to fly this thing out over the Atlantic and dump it.
Mr. President,
Now, wait a second. Now you're trying to talk me into letting you defuse it.
we need the technology.
If it goes off on the ground at Seymour, it could incinerate close to 1 million people and contaminate a huge radius.
Mr. President, we don't believe we're taking any risks. Our people are trained to handle this kind of a situation. If it really is the Medusa weapon, we must have that technology.
General, you're talking about a Medusa wave. I am talking about killing a whole lot of innocent men, women, and children and traumatizing the entire nation. Is it worth that much of a risk?
Sir, if Rogers Henry came up with the Medusa, you can be sure that there are scientists in Ukraine and all over the third world about to make that same breakthrough. Now, that said, we would be risking the future of this country and the free world if we did not seize this opportunity.
All right, John, I'm going to give you some room on this. But I am going to keep the other option open. I want a C-141 on the ground and ready to go at Seymour. If you can't turn this damn thing off, you will fly it out over the Atlantic and dump it.
We'll scramble the C-141 out of Charleston right away, sir.
Stanley, we have a history with this Rogers Henry, don't we?
Yes, sir. He headed up the Medusa project at Los Alamos. The then president ordered the project dismantled. In retrospect, we could say it was a bad call.
Yes, well, I wish we could all take back our bad calls, Stan. Now, listen to me, John. You are not to push this diffusing effort 1 inch past certainty. Is that clear?
Very clear.
Very well. Good luck, gentlemen.
Do you have any blankets? That poor woman is freezing back there.
Is she?
Is she freezing or is she a poor woman? You have doubts?
The FBI sure does.
Well, I expect that. They're not here, they're dealing blind and they're bureaucrats. What's your excuse?
Look, I don't think it's true. But Tony made some valid points. I mean, she was living with the guy. How come she didn't notice he was building a nuclear bomb?
How do I know?
Exactly.
You know, guys like you really piss me off. You almost crashed your only plane in a hurricane, but when some jerk from the FBI puts a bug in your ear...
Guys like me. You know, if I ever said women like you piss me off, you'd have me up on charges. You don't know anything about me. And you don't know what I'm thinking till I want you to know.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I know I have a tendency to push people's buttons. But you're suggesting that...
I'm not suggesting. I'm trying to work out a tough call.
I know. And you need to do that without my input. This is the last time that we misunderstand each other.
I doubt that.
Ain't racing what are you doing? Tony DeStefano, please.
This is Jerry Cornell, Scout Air 50.
Yeah, Jerry. Tony, I need to speak to my wife.
I can't do that, Jerry. We're in the middle of a crisis here.
I understand that, sir.
Look, if you have a message for her, I'll deliver it personally. That's about the best I can do.
Okay, she's at her mother's in Baltimore.
The number is...
We know it, Jerry.
Okay, tell her to take the kids.
And her mother and to go to my parents' house.
Get off the East Coast.
I understand, Jerry. I'll take care of it. Anything else?
Yeah. I love her. Tell her that for me, okay?
Okay, Jerry.
We had a fight. Well, that just means y'all are still together. I could use someone to fight with.
No response at Patty Carnell's house or her mother's.
Sir, on line 6.
Punch it up for me, would you, Bob?
Stefano.
Yes, I'm Clarence Barker.
I worked with...
I know who you are, Dr. Barker.
How can we help you? Well, I was wondering if I could help you. Rogers Henry trusts me.
I could call him for you. Maybe he'd talk to me.
Dr. Barker.
Rogers Henry is dead.
Oh, God. And actually, I was about to call you.
Maybe you could give us some notes on Los Alamos.
Some letters from Rogers Henry. Anything
They can give us a handle on this device.
I'll go through everything I have.
Great.
When we land, you have to get out.
I think we should all get out. Don't you?
I know Rogers. I know how this is going to end. And I'm responsible. I brought this in here.
Vivian, did you have any part in making this thing? Did you know what it was when you brought it on board? Why are you taking responsibility?
Because I should have known. The FBI thinks I'm in on it, don't they? I don't blame them. Have they found Rogers? He's dead, isn't he? That's why they haven't been able to contact him.
As the FBI were about to get him, he killed himself.
All the years I prayed for that. He's dead. And he's still here. If Rogers doesn't want this stopped, it won't be. He knew all the tricks. Well, he invented most of them. Without him, they won't be able to stop this.
Since the BCA News broadcast revealing the potential for a possible nuclear holocaust, people have been pouring out of their homes and onto the highway. They have thrown
We need confirmation. Perhaps you could find someone who could tell me that.
Their cars and are heading west. Dr. Jensen, what can we advise people to do?
If we get a true, continent-wide Medusa wave, there are very few things we can do in a few hours. Effectively, the silicon chips in most systems are going to melt.
But our entire society is based on computers.
Well, exactly.
But in terms of communication, broadcasting, telephones, it's great.
So we go stone dead.
Except for
Banks and stock exchange are backing up and burying the tapes as deep as they can.
Yeah? Better get your ATM.
Dawn, they're already down. What's that, Ian? They're shutting down transportation, bridges, major dams.
Hold it. The president's going to address the nation. 6 minutes.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Here we go from the embassy.
Good afternoon. My fellow Americans, I am speaking to you from the American Embassy here in London. I assume by now most of you are aware of the situation aboard Scott Air 50. Briefly, a suspected nuclear device allegedly capable of delivering a continent-wide electromagnetic pulse is at this moment being flown over the eastern seaboard of the United States. As president, I have from time to time spoken to you directly and candidly concerning issues which tested the character or moral fiber of our nation, and you have always risen to those challenges. But today, we are facing perhaps our greatest challenge. I will not pretend that the situation isn't grave, because it truly is, but I do want to assure you that we are meeting it with intelligence, with compassion, and with courage. My first priority, of course, as president, is the security of our nation and the safety of all of our people. In that regard, I want to assure every American and all of our friends and neighbors in the Western Hemisphere, as well as our allies around the world, that we do have this situation well under control. We have taken many precautions, but they are just that, precautions. And we fully expect that if this device is real, we can successfully defuse it. In closing, I want to commend all of you for remaining calm, and I ask your prayers for all of those men and women who are working at this moment to resolve this crisis. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America.
My name is Patty Carnell. My husband is on that plane, and I want to talk to him.
Thank you, Joe.
Spoke to the First Lady. She sends you her love and her prayers, but she won't evacuate. She feels if she leaves the White House, it would create a panic.
I figured you'd say that. How are the naval evacuations going?
The Atlantic is being cleared of all vessels, including subs. Everyone's cooperating to the fullest.
Scott! The computer is reeling off more warnings.
What now?
By now, the military have made plans to move this device and detonate it. I anticipated that and have engineered this device to detect an emotion. This is not, I repeat, this is not a standard military device. Any attempt to move it, to explode the trigger or burn it, will result in instant detonation.
He claims it can detect motion. But we've moved in every direction. It still thinks it's in the Pentagon.
So what does that give us?
Well, I could probably throw it out the window, kick it down the stairs, and it couldn't tell the difference.
You have now 1 hour and 59 minutes to evacuate the area around the Pentagon and Washington, D.C.
said Rogers never bluffed, and you may be right. This device is malfunctioning.
Let's see if it is malfunctioning.
No, Vivian. The sensor for the pacemaker may not be the same thing.
Let's see. Did you do something wrong? Did you screw up? You know where I am? Find me. Yes, you bastard, you blew it!
Vivian Henry has moved more than 15 feet from me in violation of my orders. To avoid immediate detonation, she must physically touch this device in the next 15 seconds.
Vivian.
Vivian!
Your return has been detected, Vivian, but you disobeyed me. Detonation will now occur in 30 seconds. You made a fatal mistake. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18,
Vivian.
18,
What's going on back there?
15, 14,
Vivian, do something! No! No!
11,
Just a bluff.
10,
He's bluffing. Just calm
8,
down.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Boom.
How did you know?
This maniac is becoming predictable. You okay?
Don't confuse his need to torment me with this. This is a live weapon.
Listen, the military method of disposal, burning or exploding the trigger, it won't work with this device. This is not a military nuke.
I don't think we should be talking
over this line, Scott. We know it's not secure.
Yeah, well, we have no choice. Now, the last screen message said that this thing has a specially designed trigger. Okay, and if anyone tries to burn or explode it, it'll set off a nuclear reaction. Now, you've got to tell them that they have to come up with another option.
It's in place. The president ordered a C-141 standing by to fly it out if they can't defuse it.
Tony, you're not hearing me. They cannot even attempt to defuse this thing. Now, Vivian believes this man was more than capable of creating this specialized trigger. Now, I want assurance from whoever is in control at Seymour that they will not tinker with this bomb. They'll have a disaster beyond your imagination. Am I making myself clear?
Scott,
I will personally see to it that the commander knows all of your concerns.
you have my word. Let's just get you on the ground.
All right, now here's the deal. When we land, I want Dr. McCoy and my 2 officers immediately removed from the plane. I am not moving until Vivian Henry is safely removed from the weapon.
Copy that. You say that Vivian Henry is still in the back of the plane.
Is she in any way dictating or making suggestions to you?
Tony, enough! We have already discussed this.
Scott, fighters at 9 o'clock.
Hey, did you guys send up an escort?
Absolutely not.
I've got 2 fighters off my left wing.
Where's my note on that?
They ordered them up. We gotta verify where they are in the plane.
Damn it. Scott, sorry.
Things are a little hectic around here.
We do have a note about that. They've been scrambled out of Shaw Air Force Base to escort and assist.
I don't need an escort. I need information.
It's my fault. I should have told you. This one got past me.
Right.
Scott? Scott? Son of a bitch. Lost him. Well, he thinks I lied to him.
You see those air-to-air sidewinders? You think they're inert?
Nope, they're real.
The fighters have a visual. They see 3 males in the cockpit. No females are visible.
I was wondering when you were going to panic. Everybody else has.
I was just thinking about my dad.
What about him?
When I was 10, he got sick. I used to read to him every day. Newspaper or my science books. And then one day I went to read to him, and I could tell that he didn't want me there. It wasn't anything he said, I could just tell. And I was so hurt because I thought that I didn't read well enough, or that he was mad at me.
He wasn't mad.
No. Because then my mother said that he was getting ready to meet God. And that getting ready to meet God took a lot of work. It meant saying goodbye to things in this world that you love. I forgot about that.
No, you didn't.
But you have nothing to prepare for. Because we're not gonna die. We're getting out of this. All of us.
Just heard from the FBI. And they're planning to rig a special radio circuit. It's gonna be the same frequency as your pacemaker. It's gonna fool the sensors in that thing. After we land, I'm gonna stay with you until they hook it up, and we can move you out.
That's not your biggest problem. They can't touch this bomb.
They won't. And we'll deal with each event as it occurs. And on that note, tonight I'm taking the 2 bravest women I know to the best, most elegant restaurant in North Carolina. Now, ladies, strap in, because we're landing.
He's cute. Is he? I hadn't noticed.
2886.
They're grounding air traffic all over the country as a precaution. Frequencies are getting quieter and quieter.
Scott Air 50.
Yeah, Scott. Could you put Jerry on the line, please?
Jerry.
Hello?
Jerry.
We're going to be monitoring this call with the right to cut it off if we're concerned about what you're saying. So please be careful.
Okay. Patty, what are you doing in D.C.? I wanted you and the kids.
I sent Mother and the kids to Aunt Jessie's, but I had to come here. I couldn't make them listen. Oh, God. Jerry.
It's okay. It's okay, honey.
Well, is it true? The TV, is that thing on the plane?
What are they seeing on TV, Patty?
Everything. They say it's some kind of weird bomb that does something electronic. Is it true?
Nah, they still think it's some kind of a hoax.
Look, honey, we're just about to land. I can't tell you where.
But there's no danger, I promise you. You and the kids are perfectly safe.
What about you?
Nah, we're fine. We're fine. We're gonna be miles away from this thing, safe and sound. Look, I gotta get back to Scott and Doc.
Jerry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
I know. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Well, everyone on the ground knows what's going on up here. I don't know how.
Colonel Spencer just arrived.
If you need to brief me, you only have the basics.
Spencer, sir.
Excuse us.
Sorry, General Walsh. We've overrun your base.
No problem. You understand the aircraft?
On approach, sir. I'll be here in 10 minutes.
And the situation in the plane?
The terrorist is an American female, Vivian Henry. The FBI feels that they can arrest her without incident. Deadly force has been authorized.
What is the plan to separate her from the weapon?
Analyze, duplicate the radio signal from a pacemaker. Once we've done that, we go to work on the bomb.
Colonel, I was told that a C-141 was inbound from Charleston. It hasn't arrived yet.
I've been ordered to keep the C-141 in a holding pattern over Charleston, sir.
Why? I thought dumping it at sea was a presidential mandate if you can't defuse it in time.
My order, sir, are to defuse and preserve that bomb. We're on the same team here. Both take orders from the Pentagon.
I take my orders from the President of the United States.
Can't be responsible for mind reading some political hack in the White House. On this mission, my direct commander is General Billings of Air Staff, and my orders are clear. That bomb will not leave this base.
We've lost it to the Pentagon. Colonel Spencer is in command.
I know him.
What about him?
Trust me, we're probably screwed. Scott, I'm handing you over to Seymour. The Pentagon's man is a Colonel Spencer. They've been briefed on all your concerns.
What about these guys?
They're, military.
I got you.
Good luck, Scott. I'll be monitoring.
This is the captain, Scott Air 50. I need to speak to the mission commander.
It's Colonel Spencer, Captain.
Colonel, has the FBI briefed you on my concerns about the weapon?
Yes, they have, Captain. We have it under control.
Did they tell you that this device cannot be treated like a military nuke in terms of emergency disposal?
We have nuclear experts here, Captain, and they'll call the shots.
Colonel, I want your personal assurance that there will be no attempt to defuse or explode this weapon's trigger. If I don't get it, I don't land.
Captain, you have my assurance. We have C-141 right here on the deck, standing by to fly the bomb out.
Right. We'll be on the runway in a moment.
All right, people, let's get ready.
You trust him?
Nope.
Okay. Gear down.
Must have damaged the gear back at PAX.
What's the worst case?
Collapse during landing. Trouble steering. It's probably safe. It could be the micro switch.
All right, we're gonna go for it. I'll favor the right side, prepare for collapse. Brace yourselves back there. more ground. Scott Air 50. I'm going to remain here a few minutes until I sort something out. Tell you follow me. I want to speak to Colonel Spencer.
Roger, Spencer here.
Colonel, where exactly do you intend on parking us?
Scott Air, we've got a spot prepared for you on the west side of the field.
Yep, we called it. Colonel, you don't go into a hot area unless you're planning on defusing explosives.
Let's go, Captain. We're time critical here.
You guaranteed me there would be no attempt to tamper with this weapon.
I said we'd do all we can to defuse it, Captain.
The hell you did. You told me there would be no attempt to defuse this thing.
Not your call, Scott Air. It's ours.
Where's the C-141? I don't see it on the base.
He's inbound. He'll be here in a few minutes.
You told me that he was on the ground standing by.
Sorry, Scott Air. There's a lot of stuff piling up here. I got ahead of myself. Now, please follow the truck so we can get on with this.
Scott.
Captain, I'm sure I don't have to remind you that your aircraft and all persons in it are a jurisdiction of the federal government. You will follow my instructions, and you will do so immediately.
Come on, Scotty. This guy doesn't get it.
God help us if they haven't been listening.
If?
Captain, I understand the woman is not in the cockpit and cannot hear. If that is wrong, flash your landing lights.
She is not in the cockpit and she cannot hear.
What's going on up there?
They're fixated on Vivian being a terrorist.
When you are parked, open your forward left door. A team will come aboard and take her into custody.
No, sir. Until the doors are open and the engines are shut down, I am in command of this aircraft.
Go! Damn it, Captain. I'm ordering you to start taxiing now. Get that crate over to the hot zone.
Tell those vehicles to stop heading towards us immediately.
Way to go. Colonel, if you lean in this guy, he's gonna bolt.
Where's he gonna go, General? We got him.
Well, you heard it. They'll promise us anything, and when they get us out of here, they're going to put Vivian in chains, and they're going to poke around that thing trying to get into the bomb casing.
Scott.
Jerry, we all do, but we
No,
have...
there are no buts, Scott. These people know what they're doing.
I trust them. I want out. After what you just heard.
You got a better idea, Scotty?
Any idea is better than letting them toy around with that thing. Don't you see what they're doing? It's insane. They just want to study it so they can make more of them. And they're going to end up incinerating us and this entire city.
We're gonna be long gone, Scotty.
How far, Jer? 10 feet, 10 miles, 100? Don't you see if that thing goes, it ain't going to make a bit of difference.
We're wasting time here, Captain. If you fail to comply, we are going to indict you all for felony obstruction of justice, harboring a felon, air piracy, terrorism. Move it now, or you will become a permanent resident of Leavenworth.
This is unbelievable. They're going to create a nuclear disaster.
What's going on? Vivian, they're gonna try to defuse the bomb.
What's the alternative?
Time to think this through. Not here, not under this pressure when we know the end result.
Okay, we're going to lower the stairs. You, Jerry, and Doc just get out of here. And I'm going to fly this to another airfield.
Oh, Scott, that dog won't hunt. Jerry, you go out with Linda.
Forget the stairs. They'll be all over us. Let's just get out of here.
Jerry, we gotta take charge. If we have to fly it out safely ourselves.
All right, enough talk. Let's do it. Before I change my mind.
Seymour Tower, we're gonna taxi up the apron to the parking site. Please clear your field. Until you follow me, we'll meet him at the midfield turnoff.
Back off all units.
They'll be confused. It'll take them a few minutes to sort it out.
Flats 5.
Flats 5.
It's too easy.
Scott, I know what you're thinking. Give us some time to work it out.
Hey, you know you did the best you could, Tony. Set max power.
What about those guys?
Sunburn.
Got air! Abort your takeoff! Abort your takeoff! Acknowledge!
Lose him.
B1. BR. Positive rate. Fire, sir!
No. Hold your fire. No one is to fire on that aircraft.
Time on the bomb is 1 hour, 22 minutes.
Out there on the remote. Yeah, got it. The pilot of the 737 just hijacked his own plane.
What's your source?
Somebody down in Seymour. The military's just going nuts. They lost contact with him.
How did this happen?
Colonel Spencer came on like a stormtrooper, declaring his intention to arrest the Henry woman and everyone on the plane. Then they wrote over the captain's concerns about blowing the trigger, and finally, Spencer lied to the pilot about the C-141.
How's that?
Colonel Spencer gave orders to keep it circling.
So when the pilot did not see the C-141 on the ground, he took off.
He took off. We got word from General Walsh in charge of Seymour. He was very upset.
He was upset?
Yes, sir, and he felt you should know. The colonel had no intention of keeping the C-141 option open, despite your orders.
They're out of control, Mr. President. They lie and manipulate.
All right, gentlemen. Let us be even and direct. You are looking at your worst nightmare, and I am looking at mine. First, on direct order from the Commander-in-Chief, Colonel Spencer is relieved of command and is recommended for court-martial immediately. Second, I want the resignation of each and every officer down the chain of command that disobeyed my C-141 order. And finally, General Alton, you are a disgrace. Whether you gave the order personally or allowed someone under you to take the fall, you are responsible. Consequently, you are relieved of command effective immediately, and I am personally recommending your court-martial for insubordination. Clear the room! Leave him, General. Those papers are the property of the United States government, which you no longer serve. All right. What options are open to us?
We're trying to reach the 737, but he's not responding. We believe he's flying at a low altitude and was last spotted heading east towards the Atlantic.
The USS Eisenhower is also in the area, and they're trying to contact him, too.
Is he trying to dump it himself?
No, sir. The 737 has a side cargo door. It is almost impossible to open in flight. They can't jettison cargo if they can't open the door.
Where's he going?
He's going to die, sir.
I bet those fighters will be after us anyway.
We're late for that.
Jerry, come here. Look, you're not stuck with us, okay? Find me an airfield near the coast. We'll touch down long enough for you and Linda to get out.
Well, what about you and Doc?
Well, that depends on you. If you can figure a way to jury-rig this cargo door to open in flight, I'll dump the sucker. Okay, look at the door.
No pressure, huh?
Mr. Zeppino, yes, I've got something. These letters from Rogers were mostly garbled and directed at Vivian, but there's a couple here where he talks about the instant trigger.
Go ahead, Doc.
He perfected it, and he built it. If anyone tries to defuse it, this thing creates an instant critical mass. The military can't defeat it by blowing it. Look, you've got to get the president before those cowboys do.
It's got cold.
Donna, let's go.
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna find an airfield with enough concrete to land, and you and Jerry are gonna get out.
What about you, Doc and Vivian?
There'll be a small window of opportunity for escape.
What are you talking about?
Look, here's the plan. Doc has to fly the plane. We're gonna figure out how to open that cargo door, and we're gonna dump this thing into the sea.
What about Vivian's pacemaker?
Cut it out of me.
What?
I've been thinking about it. It's doable.
It's out of the question.
No, it's not. Look. That's the pacemaker. It's right beneath the surface of my skin. You have a medical kit on board? It's minor surgery.
I am not a medical doctor.
Vivian, you have a pacemaker because you need it. You can't just cut it out of yourself.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
It only regulates my heartbeat if I have an episode. I'll be fine.
We should try and come up with another option.
Fine. But until we do, all you have to do is make a surface incision, slide the pacemaker out, and disconnect the wires. Are you squeamish about blood?
No.
Yes? Get over it.
I'm not calling Vivian unless you assure me that she will not be charged with this crime.
You know we can't do that. Your refusal could be considered a criminal act, Dean.
What are you gonna do? You gonna lock me up? I'll tell you what, if this thing goes off and she dies falsely accused of the worst air holocaust in human history, I will walk myself into that prison.
I know you blame me for this, Jerry.
I don't blame you. I wish I could. It'd be a lot easier.
Your safety deposit box.
Yeah, maybe. See, check this out. Normally, we have to be on the ground to get power to the cargo door. In the air, the door open switch won't work. But I may have figured out a way to hotwire the electric motors and pumps, shunt the wiring, and get around the sensing relays, see?
All right, what about airspeed if you do this?
Well, it's a guess. You gotta be going fast enough to tear the door off, but not so fast that the airstream takes the fuselage with it.
Jerry, this is it.
They haven't done anything yet.
Man, so here, you will.
Hey, I want off this heap. But you can't do this alone. We need Doc to fly the plane, and you and I have got to push this thing out.
Let's just get this wiring rigged, okay? And then we'll see what happens.
No, we can't see what happens. We land, and they'll be all over us, you know that. I'm sticking. Scott? I failed the American check.
You're not a pilot, Jack. But you're one hell of an engineer. The best.
You have 15 minutes to establish radio contact. After that, we've lost the window. At that point, your orders are to make sure the 737 doesn't turn back.
Roger that.
I know you as well as you know me. Now you put something in here. What were you thinking? You always said nobody ever has the nerve to use the number 1. Too simple for you.
Well, Vivian, you figured it out. You're not as dumb as you look. Hooray for you!
Sadly, intelligence doesn't save lives. You're gonna die anyway. See you in hell, Vivian.
Get the medical kit.
Okay. Fine. Mr. President, it's too late. We have to let the plane go.
Connect me to Scott Air.
What did I tell you? The leader's gesture.
Scott Air 50, are you up on this frequency?
Yes, sir. This is Shark 5 on your left wing.
Your orders are to force us back or shoot us down, correct?
Negative. We have no orders to force you back. There's not enough time, sir. We're not here to interfere. If there's anything, this is pretty lame, sir, but if we can help in any way.
Shark 5, just go ahead and get out of here.
Sir, we have a radio relay on this frequency.
Go ahead.
Scott Air, this is the President calling from London. Do you read?
Did I, win the Super Bowl, sir?
Listen, Scott. I don't want to waste any of your time. I just want you to know that we have positive confirmation now that if we had tried to defuse that device on the ground, there would have been a nuclear detonation.
I'm glad you told me, sir.
We made a terrible mistake and left you out there on your own. I take full responsibility. I'm terribly sorry. Can you tell me what your plans are now?
Well, we're gonna try and get our door open and dump this weapon as far out as we can get it.
What if you can't get the door open? Do you have any parachutes?
Negative, sir. We're gonna get the door open.
That's the spirit, son. I just want you to know that all of us here are praying for all of you there.
Sir, that should include Vivian Henry. She had nothing to do with this.
I understand, son. Good luck. Thank you. And Godspeed.
Thank you, sir.
Start to pressurize. Let's lose this rock. Down to 10,000.
Ready. Ladies, hang on. It's gonna get windy.
9,800. We're almost there.
All I want to know is Vivian going to be safe?
Dean, we just got word it's too late for the plane to turn back. We can't make any changes in their plan. I'm sorry, Dean.
Oh my God.
Don't. I'm okay. I just wanted to hear your voice. You were always right about Rogers.
I don't want to be right.
He's not winning this one. Dean, I love you.
I love you, baby.
Doc, where are we at?
We are depressurized. Go ahead.
Ready?
Okay, come on, baby.
It's gotta be a loose wire. It didn't work. It didn't work.
Come on, Jack.
Shot of morphine.
No. I have to be alert.
pacemaker as a guide. You ready? Here we go. Slide the pacemaker out. Okay. Disconnect the wires. Be sure you don't pull on them. The other end's attached to my heart. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, I've got it. All right. Tuck the wires back in the incision. Okay. Okay.
They jettisoned no explosion.
Thank God.
How'd they get the door open?
Determination.
We're not out of the woods. It could be ticking underwater.
Assume it is. We'll know in 9 minutes.
Morphine's working. In bad shape.
Right wing feels heavy.
Oh, gee. We got a fuel leak. We must have damaged the left wing of the jettison. I'll feed what's remaining into the right main. 0 on the left, 2,000 on the right.
What are you talking about?
Fuel by the 1,000 pounds.
What do we need?
Well, we got 2. We need better than 5. We're not making it back to land. That means we're in a ditch situation. Go get those life jackets from behind the seat. Let's go! Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Scott Air 50 declaring an emergency. Mayday, mayday.
It'd be a miracle if even one of them gets out. You give me a hand. We're gonna hurt out there.
5 minutes to detonation. We're leaking fuel, we have no life rafts, and we have a hole in our side the size of Houston. This is your best plan, Scott?
The only plan. There's no alternative.
Can't we jump?
No, not without chutes. Water's like concrete at this speed.
You don't have parachutes?
Linda, there's no door that opens in flight on a 737. What's the point of having parachutes?
I've tried everything. Trim won't move.
Let me feel it.
Nah, I bet it's hydraulic.
Way to go, Captain Kirk.
The best thing you ever did is load my stuff on this plane. I have parachutes, signaling devices, a radio transmitter, and flares. Nero loaded us down with this stuff, and we never used it in Antarctica.
Oh, you beautiful woman.
The problem is I only have 4.
That's not a problem. We can do this, especially over water. I'll strap Jerry in with me.
How high?
At least 2,000 feet. Look, go get your gear on. Help Vivian with hers, okay?
Okay.
50 seconds to detonation.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good God in heaven.
Hostile generators. Battery's failing too. Voltage all over the map.
I can't get the generator to reset. I'm opening the cross feed. The feed panel must be fused.
Got her trim set. She can fly by herself for a little while. Let's get out of here.
All right. Get your gear on. Get off this bird. The starboard blades! They must have punctured the cabin when engine 1 came apart! We've got an empty tank back there! Forget it! We're out of time and we're out of fuel! Now get your gear and help me with Jerry!
You got it back up? We're working on it. I thought you guys were hard, but so did we.
Okay! Go out together! Alright, now move to the edge of the plane! Now this is your D-ring! Put your right hand on it! Start and fire spreading! Okay, after we jump, 5 seconds! 5 seconds, you pull it, okay? Alright, we're starting. We gotta go now! Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Here. Somebody give her a hand, would you?
They just picked up a garbled message from the SS Eisenhower. The 737 exploded 45 minutes ago.
Could they have survived?
No way, Tony.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hang in there, Jer. Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Scott! Tony DiStefano left me.
What are you doing out here?
I wanted to see it for myself.
Good job. You too, man. You're one hell of a pilot, okay?
Dash. You owe me dinner.
Let's get this one. Sure. Yeah, fine.
Just take it, all of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Viv. What do you think? You got any interest in this? FBI says we can keep whatever we want. It's in good shape.
You know what? I don't ever want to see it again in my life.
Yeah, I don't either.